Good morning, 8th grade. I wanted to talk to you guys today about atoms and subatomic particles. And you've already done a lot of reading about this, but I noticed on your quiz last week, which I'm taking for a participation grade, that some people were a little bit confused. So we're going to try to just do some really short, succinct lessons over the next couple of days, because having a good understanding of atoms and their structure is going to be really important when we start understanding how different compounds chemically react to one another. So first, I wanted to go through this short presentation with you. And after we do that, I'd like you to take a 5-question Google Forms quiz that's posted on the blog. So first, I wanted to make sure that everybody understands the difference between an atom, a molecule, and a compound. So an atom is one particle of one specific element. So in this picture up here, we have helium, and just one particle of helium is called an atom. So if you had one particle of carbon, that's an atom. Or if you had one particle of sodium, that's an atom. Now, if you have a particle of water, that's not an atom, and we'll talk about that in a second. A molecule specifically refers to when you have two atoms of the same element. So this drawing shows a molecule of hydrogen. You have two hydrogen atoms and they're combined. The last thing is compounds are when you have multiple atoms of multiple different elements and they're bonded together. So you have water that is oxygen and two hydrogens. Table salt is one atom of sodium and another atom of chlorine, and that makes a compound, which is table salt. So if we zoom in on atoms, atoms are made up of these 3 particles, and this is going to be really important to understand for when we start talking about chemical reactions. So atoms all have protons and neutrons in the center. The center is called the nucleus, just like in the cell. And then we have these electrons that are floating around the outside. Protons are positively charged. Electrons are negatively charged. And just like a positive magnet and a negative magnet will be attracted to each other, positive protons and negative electrons are attracted to each other. That's why we have these particles that are sort of bound up together. And then we have these neutrons that kind of just hang out there in the middle and they're not charged at all. The last thing that I want you guys to understand today is atomic number. So this is a section of the periodic table. It's the upper right-hand corner of the periodic table. And the atomic number is that number that we've assigned each element. That number is the same as the number of protons that element has in one atom. So for example, this is a drawing of a helium atom. Helium has the atomic number 2. And that's because helium has 2 protons in it. Carbon has the atomic number 6. And that's because carbon has 6 protons in it. You can't see it, but this little thing says 6 protons. Now, if we were able to zoom in and remove 1 proton from this carbon atom, it would become boron, because boron has an atomic number 5, and that atom would have 5 protons, which changes the chemical composition of the atom. Email me if you have questions.